all face some sort of rejection from someone we were absolutely obsessed with. Unless you were lucky enough to find your soulmate at 12, which, like, good for you. Well, if you're like the rest of the population, we handle that rejection in all sorts of different ways. Like listening to a moody playlist, writing a sad song here or there, or probably just cry about it over a few too many glasses of wine. My Friday nights. But sometimes that just isn't enough. It is the month of love, so why not celebrate it by looking at some of the most unhinged heartbreaks in cinema? Bunny boiler is a term so lovingly used to describe supposedly deranged women. Women who experience a full emotional breakdown, a hysterical rampage, a complete psychological spiral.
Adrian! What are you doing?
Making lemonade. What's up?
Why? All because a man decided he won't leave his wife for her and dumps her. Men. Bunny boilers have made their home in the subgenre of erotic thriller. It mixes desire with danger as characters find themselves in sexually tense situations, which inevitably ruins their lives.
What's your new book about?
A detective. He falls for the wrong woman.
What happens?
She kills him.
This subgenre saw its peak in the late 80s, early 90s. The only way I can really describe the feel of these movies is like a Lifetime movie with a budget. Now, you might be wondering, why are they called bunny boilers? Seems like such a random thing to be called. Oh, we'll get to that. Keep your bunnies safe as we dive into the deeply chaotic world of bunny boilers. One of the scariest things that could happen to a man is that a sexually confident woman hits on him. Okay, bold statement, but hear me out. Throughout history and myths, legends, stories, what have you, women that use their sexuality on men are seen as inherently dangerous. I'm just going to run through some very quick examples here. There's Ishtar in the Epic of Gilgamesh, who cursed a man into becoming a wolf because he didn't want to be with her. Harsh, Lilith, Adam's first wife, refused to submit to Adam and left the Garden of Eden to become a demon. Then, of course, there is the Greek mythology of the sirens, luring sailors to their death with nothing but a voice. And in the 1800s, this fear finally got a name. The femme fatale, literally translated to deadly woman. Naturally, she would slink her way onto the silver screen, becoming a problematic but iconic trope in cinema, where she really gained her footing in the film noir genre. These films exploded in popularity in the post-war era, when shifting gender roles clearly influenced how women were depicted on screen.
I was warned against the siren call of adventure. I should never have stopped to talk with you.
You mean you're afraid of me?
You see, what happened was that when all the men went to fight in World War II, the government was pushing women to join the workforce. Which came with another host of problems because, how do you even train a woman to do a man's job?
Now, I think we can say that the broad principles involved in the supervision of men apply equally well in the case of women.
That ain't what I learned about women.
There are some new and different problems, Joe. I'll admit that.
Women scare me. At least they do in a factory.
Well, when the men came home from their long years of battle, the women were still in their jobs. But how can that be? Who is gonna cook my dinner? So just months after the war, women began to lose their jobs and were heavily persuaded to go back home. According to Michael Renaud's article, Leave Her to Heaven, the vibe was, if you do not bear children, especially sons, dutifully and in large numbers, the American way of life for which so many suffered and died will be seriously threatened. But not all women accepted that. So then came this fear that women have now become too ambitious for their own good and they want more. I mean, if women keep pursuing these selfish desires, then this will only harden their heart into the femme fatale. She is ambitious, sexy, smarter than half the men in the room, and will bring ruin and destruction in the lives of the men living around her. They are career women who are materialistic and probably will get whatever she wants through criminal means. Film noir saw a resurgence in the 1980s, but had a little more erotic flavor to it. They are classified as neo-noir. The femme fatale evolved. She became more complex, more seductive, more overtly sexual, and sometimes she even came out on top, which is something her post-war sisters would never dream about. Now, is it a coincidence that this resurgence happened during the overtly political Reagan-era slogan of traditional nuclear family values? I don't know. Just asking questions. And this, dear listeners, is exactly where we see the rise of the bunny boiler. So after watching these films, I have determined 3 categories of bunny boilers. They are organized in their motivations and who the victim represents. The first category, and arguably the most prototypical, is the one-night stand that goes terribly wrong. The victims are almost always middle to upper class men with gorgeous homes. They're successful in their careers or sports with the perfect family to match. Their girlfriend or wife is kind, wholesome, very girl next door, the ideal homemaker. But something is missing. Hot sex. You know how it goes. Kids get in the way.
It's just for tonight, honey.
She wants commitment, or she just simply didn't want to have sex in the library.
What? We're in a library.
That's when the bunny boiler comes in. Like her femme fatale counterparts, she is drop-dead sexy, exuding charisma and style. Her fits are tight blazers, pencil skirts, and shoulder pads with red lipstick. She is feminine, powerful, having a very prominent career and a bright future ahead of her. Oh, and she also appreciates high-class art like the opera, specifically Madame Butterfly. She will definitely buy tickets for her victim.
It's Madame Butterfly time.
And everyone notices her. The victim's best friend always has to comment on her appearance because she stands out amongst the crowd.
Hi there.
Except she only has eyes for one person, the victim. Her usual pickup line is, "The best ones are always taken."
Story of my life. Can't expect the nicest, most handsome guy in school to be single, too.
He tries to downplay his attraction to her, but she plays coy. His feeble attempts in stopping her fall into deaf ears as she straddles him. She has an enticing proposition, no strings attached. And he's like, "Oh no, we shouldn't do this." But she is just so damn hot. What is he supposed to do? Keep it in his pants? Please. So he gives in to passion, and it gets wet real fast. Oh my gosh, I'm talking about water. They kiss in the rain, in the pool, splashing water for the hell of it. She also makes it a point she doesn't sleep around.
Because I don't sleep around.
That's what Evelyn Draper tells her favorite disc jockey, Dave, when they're about to sleep with each other. Their toxic love affair is sparked by one simple request.
Play Misty for me.
Dave is a womanizer trying to change his ways so he can win his ex-girlfriend back. And Evelyn seems to understand the situation, so why not? Let's get down and dirty. But something tells me that she actually doesn't mean it.
You're nothing! You're not even good in bed! I just felt sorry for you, that's all! Bastard! You poor, pathetic bastard!
Unfortunately for the bunny boiler, the victims never intended to start a life with her. They have perfect families or ex-girlfriends they miss back home, remember? So when the victim tries to end the affair, she doesn't take it well.
I want you to leave. Let's go.
She feels used, betrayed. The night spent together meant so much to her, and she is hurt that it wasn't felt on his part.
So you want to just forget all about it, pretend like it never happened.
She will not let him toss her aside so he can live his life as if nothing happened. Even though Play Misty for me was released with moderate success, it would be until Fatal Attraction that it would truly kickstart this steamy subgenre. Dan is a hardworking lawyer with a perfect nuclear family. His carefully constructed life begins to unravel when he meets the charismatic Alex Forrest. It only takes a coffee date for him to unzip his pants. After a couple of nights of passion, he begins to notice little things are off. Like Evelyn from Play Misty for me, Alex said that she is totally fine with it being a one-night stand. And yeah, let's be discreet.
Are you?
You're my word.
Discreet.
However, Alex becomes pregnant with Dan's child, a development that only intensifies her desperation to stay in his life. In her mind, why can't they have the perfect family? Why can't he own up to his responsibilities?
But I'm gonna tell you it's gonna stop right now.
No, it's not going to stop. It's going to go on and on until you face up to your responsibilities.
What responsibility?
And while on the surface her situation is deeply sympathetic, a man who wanted the thrill without the consequences, for the subgenre to function, the film has to make us hate her. Alex's pleas for him to be in her life are framed as unreasonable and downright obsessive. Dan is depicted as the only logical one in the situation. This brings us to the second category, where the victim never sleeps with the bunny boiler. She's just completely obsessed with him, like really obsessed. The victim was just at the wrong time and wrong place. Maybe he's kind to her, maybe he makes a casual compliment, maybe he just looks at her in a certain way, and suddenly in her mind that's interpreted as, oh, so you want me? Like the first category, these victims often have families, but the difference is they stay loyal. The women in their lives can sense that something's off about the bunny boiler, but the man dismisses it as innocent or harmless. In Obsessed, Lisa is obsessed with her boss, Derek. It sucks for Lisa though, because his wife is played by Beyonce.
You think you're crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Sorry. Tough luck. Lisa's subtle but increasingly blatant flirtations start to overstep boundaries, and suddenly, bunny boiler shenanigans ensue. The first two categories are similar in one key way. The bunny boiler wants the male victim and he refuses her. Whether the victim slept with her or not, he still has hell to pay. And that's when her revenge really begins. First comes the phone calls. She will call the victim at his work or home or even in the middle of the night. It doesn't even matter if she's at the victim's location and she's looking right at his car. She will call knowing he's there and he's like, I'm not there. And she's like, yeah, you are, silly.
It was funny. I was calling you from that phone booth over there, and he was telling me you'd left, and I was staring right at your car. Isn't that funny?
Modern bunny boilers don't even need to call anymore. They just send unsolicited naked photos straight to the victim. A lot of tension builds as the victim's girlfriend or wife or whatever is right there, and it's like, oh no, he's so close to getting caught. Once her calls and photos are being ignored, then she gets more desperate because she has to see him. So she shows up unannounced. Dave in Play Misty for me, he's a little concerned because after the no strings attached one night stand, she shows up with groceries the next day and he's like, we're still good, right? And she's like, oh, yeah.
Okay. Any way you like. Next time. How do you like your steak?
It escalates to the point where she shows up at his business lunch, convinced he's actually on a date with a woman that he's trying to make a deal with. And of course, she makes a scene, drawing the attention of everyone in the room and leaving him completely mortified. She's still good.
Because I love you. I did it because I love you. Don't you understand? I love you.
Another common bunny boiler tactic is a desperate attempt to force intimacy by engineering an accidental sexual moment, usually by making sure the victim just happens to see her naked. Nick is snooping through the bunny boiler Adrian's room when he thinks she is at home, but she is, and he nearly gets caught, so he panics and hides in her closet. But it seems like she already knows he's there. Adrian undresses directly in front of the closet. The crush cleverly subverts the story of Lolita. Instead of Humbert, the creepy adult man, we get Nick, a struggling journalist who just wants to make rent and find a decent place to live. He's harmless.
I tell you, if you were 10 years older,
You'd what?
When Adrian sees him for the first time, it's crush at first sight. And look, I get it. It's Carrie Elwes.
as you wish.
Nick tries to be oblivious, while ignoring a growing list of red flags. She sunbathes on his lawn, talking to him about her periods, advancing his career for him, and she asks if they can go to a lookout alone at night, and he agrees. Harmless.
This past year, she's really blossomed. Physically, I mean.
I noticed.
Ew. And then bunny boiler shenanigans ensue. Okay, so the situation with the bunny boilers, it's getting a little weird, but the victim still thinks they can keep her under control, even if she keys his car or tears his home apart. But a victim's property isn't the only thing she will go after. Remember when I said we would get to the meaning of a bunny boiler and where that term came from? Well, in Fatal Attraction, Dan gets his daughter a baby bunny, and Alex watches in horror at the perfect family setting from the outside. So she, basically makes rabbit stew. The bunny boilers can have a whole pet cemetery for all of the animals they have killed. As the story progresses and her extreme flirting, endless phone calls showing up unannounced starts to have an effect, her sexy, confident exterior begins to crumble. Her charm and beauty slowly give way to a haggard appearance, a physical reflection of her inner madness. Even her once powerful career attire transforms, looking less like fashion and more like a straitjacket, trapping her in the very obsession she's created. At this point, her only goal is clear: ruin the victim's life just as he ruined the potential love she imagined. And of course, it keeps escalating. Still not getting him to love her? No problem. She'll frame him for something, especially if the victim plays sport and there's a scouting agent in town to evaluate his talents. Take the star baseball player named Doug from Malicious. He thought cheating on his sweet girlfriend with Melissa the bunny boiler was a good idea, and bunny boiler shenanigans ensue. Just when his baseball dreams are so close he can almost taste it, Melissa beats herself up to make it look like he did it to her. Wow, this hiring talent agency took her allegations seriously? That can't be right. Okay, so you're probably thinking, with all of the bunny boiler shenanigans ensuing, how on earth does his sweet partner not find out? It's kinda hard to explain away a boiled bunny. Well, that's when the victim does the noble thing and tells her the truth. Or tries to, at least. He has to come clean because he has to have his redeeming moment. The girlfriend is pissed at first, but always forgives him in the end, and they end up back together. This, of course, triggers the bunny boiler to attack her in the finale. You see, the bunny boiler has been keeping close tabs on the partner of the victim. She befriends her, maybe even going the extra mile of becoming her roommate, like moving in, signing a lease and everything.
He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Once she has the victim's partner in her clutches, she'll just keep her tied up and taunt her without actually killing her. This is just so our victim can come in like a white knight to save his damsel in distress. Except Beyonce, she is no one's damsel in distress.
Derek, I'm gonna call you back.
Well, look at it this way. I doubt the victim will cheat on his partner again. So I finagled with the bunny boiler definition just a little bit and broadened it just enough to include a third category. Because no, I did not forget about the third category. This is what I like to call the bunny boiler wants to become the victim. The victims here are still upper middle class, But they're often couples with the bunny boiler's attention focusing on victimizing the woman, or she just targets a single white female. After finding out that her fiance cheated on her, Allie places an ad for a roommate. And lucky for her, or unlucky, Hetty answers the ad. At first, she is a great roommate. They share a puppy, clothing, hairstyles. They are practically sisters. But that cheating fiancé finds a way back into Allie's heart. Hetty is afraid that she will have to leave the great life she has with Allie, so she will do anything to make sure that doesn't happen. It seems that Hetty wants to emulate every aspect of Allie's life, whether it's out of envy, a desire for control, or even a twisted sense of guilt. The most iconic scene is when Hetty takes Allie to a hair salon to surprise her, and Allie is horrified to see Hetty's brunette hair turn into the exact replica of Allie's. It's like the biggest oh shit moment.
You've got to be kidding.
Then bunny boiler shenanigans ensue. But a bunny boiler doesn't just stop at trying to become the victim. Her eyes will light up as she looks upon the victim's upper-class home. She wants to take over your whole family for a chance at this life. You have nice clothes? She is definitely wearing them out. You have a husband? She won't think twice about seducing him. Have kids? They're hers in her mind. Especially your newborn. She is not letting that thing go. Baby fever will hit them like a freight train. When it comes to baby boilers being mad at the man, like the first and second category, she will kidnap his child as a way of revenge and control. It's like actively inserting herself into the family. It's like this twisted version of motherhood because femme fatales don't fit into the archetype homemaker role. So when they try to be mothers, it's funny because it makes them emotionally unstable and crazy.
My family.
One of the more terrifying concepts of this is when the victim's child is growing inside the bunny boiler and when the bow breaks. John and Laura just want a child, but Laura can't carry any children to term. So they decide to hire a seemingly nice, quiet girl, Anna, to be a surrogate mother. The nice couple only wants what's best for Anna and their unborn child, so they let her live at their home where her obsession for John can only fester more. She is carrying their baby after all, so she is in control. Most bunny boilers get a touch of backstory or vague mental illness if they're lucky. She might have said this offhand joke like, "My father is dead," and the victim feels guilty, but then she's like, haha, just kidding. But turns out that he is actually dead. The bunny boilers are here to be sexy and scary. We don't have time for complexity or nuance. If a bunny boiler does have friends or family, they're always a little timid and scared of setting her off. There is always a scene where the victim is tired of being harassed and stalked, so they take matters into their own hands by going through the bunny boilers' things. Lucky for them though, bunny boilers are very into keeping mementos and newspaper clippings of their past deeds that they keep conveniently out in the open. The victim finds out that he might not even be the first one that she stalked. And yikes, the previous victim is either dead or in a coma.
He was our camp counselor. Adrian had a crush on him.
So?
He's dead.
These story beats are most likely to be in high school bunny boiler movies. Madison, the bunny boiler, caused her boyfriend's car to crash because he was trying to break up with her, which leaves him in a coma. Ben, the victim, is like, oh no, that could happen to me. It seems that high school age bunny boilers are depicted this way because teen girls' feelings are seen as fleeting and intense. I object. I was not like that. Sure, I had like 15 crushes and I thought I was gonna marry each one, but like, unfair. But probably the scariest thing that the victims discover about the bunny boilers is that she takes pills? It's set up like it's supposed to shock the audience, kind of like, wonder she's crazy. Not great. And besides the pills, she tries to piece out to manipulate the victim into having sympathy for her. Also not great. She also isn't above killing anyone that gets in her way. Sylvie from Poison Ivy is a lonely teenage girl. She lashes out any chance she gets, like sending bomb threats to her father, but her life becomes less lonely when she befriends a mysterious girl she names Ivy. Ivy is a poor girl living with her aunt and is enamored with the luxurious place Sylvie calls home. Sylvie's whole family takes a liking to Ivy, maybe a little too much. Soon, Ivy is practically living there, manipulating everyone around her, even the pet dog. How dare she bring the dog into this? Sylvie's mother is very sick, so Ivy almost wants to take up the mantle as a motherly figure.
Pretend I'm her. Come on, I'm your mom.
It's really weird, and that's not the only role she wants.
You're not my father.
That's right, I'm not.
Ew. Well, now the mom has to go. Also, if you're suspicious of the bunny boiler, you're in trouble. Claire, from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, files a complaint against a doctor that was inappropriate, which leads other patients to do the same. So instead of facing his consequences, he pieces out, leaving his pregnant wife Peyton with his burden. With all of that stress, she sadly loses her baby. So Peyton decides the next best step is to become a nanny for Claire and her family. I'm sure for wholesome reasons.
For me, it's the next best thing to actually being a mother.
Well,
Claire's sister Marlene figures out who Peyton really is by, get this, seeing that Peyton's old house has the same wind chimes Peyton gave Claire as a gift. Wow, some crazy investigative skills there.
I need a doctor. Know of any, Mrs. Mott?
Well, it doesn't end well for Marlene. So all of this killing and other bunny boiler shenanigans will all lead to a tantalizing climax. Now, the original ending in Fatal Attraction, Alex kills herself and frames it to look like Dan is the one that killed her. So while he is being taken away by the police, his wife finds the vicious tapes and runs off to turn it in to the police. So it ends ambiguously, whether that will exonerate Dan or not, showing that he is facing some sort of repercussion from breaking the sacred bonds of his marriage, and that Alex was clearly in a depressed state. But test audiences hated it. What do you mean that's it? Come on, you guys, that's not thrilling enough. She's the one that needs to be punished, and with the few reshoots, that's how we got our ending that we actually ended up with. It all accumulates to Alex showing up at the house, completely having lost her mind, attempting to kill Dan's wife, and so he drowns her. Wait, no, that's still not enough.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
She needs to rise up like a slasher villain for one last scare. Glenn Close, who plays Alex, hates the ending because it solidifies her as a movie monster, not as a complex character. That moment, though, should have the gold statue in the Bunny Boiler Hall of Fame because, personally, I don't think the subgenre would have persevered as much as it did, if not for the ending. And now, all the Bunny Boilers are taken care of like slasher villains, like falling to their death, being stabbed, being shot, being drowned, and getting ran over. And with the bunny boiler finally gone, the nuclear family can go on. Whew, that was a close call. There are so many more bunny boilers I wish I could cover. It's a never-ending cesspool of trash you keep finding yourself digging through. Or at least I do. These films can feel basic and cliche, almost like slasher movies, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's a reason this formula works, even if its depictions of women and mental illness are understandably controversial. They're the perfect expression of fear around women's sexual agency and independence. So here's my advice. Don't have an affair. It's selfish and unfair. But if you absolutely must, keep your pets close. Have a sweet nightmare tonight.